Okay. And we are live, back with Roadwarden. Last time, a lot happened. Because we got into a bunch of fights, after me being able to repair my own armor, meant that we could get into multiple fights in a row, and repair our armor in between these fights. It means that we got into, we went on a hunt with the foragers, we fought howlers, we fought undead, we fought dusk foxes, we fought poo-chewing monkeys. We fought a lot, and we pretty much explored the entire peninsula. At least we've done an entire loop on the road, and there aren't any locations for us to explore apart from the heart of the woods. And doing all of these things got us paid. We got treasures to sell, we got jobs to do. We're about, I'm gonna say, halfway through our money goal. We're like 30 bucks, but I also have a pelt that we can sell for 25 at Foggy's, which I'm holding on to because the more jobs we do for her, the better she pays. And we pretty much got into some of the secrets of the peninsula. We now know that the ruined village used to be called Steep House and was destroyed by Howler's Dell, which I think we can use this secret to extort them for more money. We know about, is it called High Island? Something like that, an island with a volcano, which Asterion was last seen to, the previous Roadwarden. Which I guess we might, I'm not sure, we might, it said that there's plenty of treasures on the island, and we might get rewarded if we find Asterion, but I'm not sure if the investment is going to be paying more than what we receive. I'm not sure if we're going to be doing that quest, because it's going to be expensive. And we also have the third secret. Oh yeah, the third secret is the secret tribe. There's a secret tribe on the peninsula that we haven't met with yet, but it's there, and we should try and meet with them because my job is to meet with all the tribes to make sure that they can trade with the city. So yeah, let's get started. Boop. Today, we first are going to start with a job for Howler's Dell to clear some roads. We get paid for that. Then I think we're going to do like a round around the place, trying to wrap up all the locations that we've been to before, and get paid. We're just going to go around heading over quests, basically, or doing quests. Anyway, today's quote. Death by banishment. Sending an evildoer into the wilderness with only a flint dagger. The true Minecraft experience. Oh. Gathering a crew. According to what you've learned, you can only reach High Island by a boat, leaving the coast during the day and landing at nighttime, during the high tide. The chance that you're going to find him there on your own is slim. I need a boat and some friends. Hello, hey Exuat, hi. In-game money? Yes. Money in the game. Where are we? We're at 39. We need to get 100 for our personal quest, which is in here. Quest, gather wealth, 100 coins, or find a treasure. An expensive treasure. So, we're getting there. We have a big pelt. We have some stuff in our inventory that we might be able to sell. A pelt, a bronze axe, some kind of valuable ring, but I need to make the rounds around the island and see who's willing to buy my stuff. And once all that's done, technically all we need to do for our job, we've already explored some of the places where they have to trade. We just need to get Howler's Dell to sign a contract, Gale Rocks to sign a contract, secure the Eastern Road, take care of the Necromancer and the bandits, and that should be basically our job on this place done. You know, there could be more to do, like, I don't know, curing the plague or clearing the road in the middle, but the bare minimum that we need is to have 100 bucks for our personal quest, and to have trade on the islands on the peninsula secured for the city, and we can go home. And I don't want to stay longer than that, because some of these mysteries that we can uncover can get pretty expensive. And we're here to make money, not spend it, to uncover secrets. We're not here for secrets, we're here for money. Anyway, is it nighttime? No, it's morning. First, since Ty has allowed me to do so, I'll place a bronze rod on the top of the watchtower, because that's my job. For the sorceress. You approach the same tower you've climbed before. There's a teenage girl crouching on the bank of the creek, washing laundry in bowls. She smiles. With a smile, she offers you to hold the rope ladder. Oh, please do. My character does not do well on rope ladders. She puts on her sandals and approaches the ladder. Go ahead. She keeps it as you climb to the top. Even the wind gets stronger, you feel in control. It takes you a fair bit of time, but with a couple of cords, you attach the rod to the outer wall. You make sure that even a strong push won't take it down. Once you touch the ground, the girl doesn't walk up to you, but tries to make eye contact. There's a nice view from there, eh? Young kills this tall. She holds her hand near her waist. Always climb up when no soul is watching. Her kind smile contrasts with her bored, indifferent eyes. Well, she helped me, so I'm not gonna chit-chat, I guess. 15 minutes. Oh my god. Okay. She craves any tales from the outside world. You tell her about Rose and her hardships on your travels, while she tells you about her magical talents. She can make water clean, and hopes to put this to use once she gets more experience with it. I did not get all power-hungry sorcerers, you know. I would want to throw fire from their hands while their spoons need to get cleaned. She also mentions the strict rigors followed by the local druids. They take on the responsibility of teaching the new generation how to live side by side by the woods. Because of this, they're like our other parents, you see, with their own rules and tasks, but aren't so cranky if you speak to them humbly, like their own kids. It may be weird to an outsider, she says with a smile, but there are no some mages of right, but are forest speakers. Soon after that, she bids you farewell and leaves. Okay, bye. I do need to meet with the druids before you leave on the job to go to the road to clear. Yeah, let's meet with the druids before we leave. This time, the tall druid gives you an encouraging nod. Even though he remains on the bench, he's huge. He would do well as a guard at a city house. I walk further south to the spot where the new building is being built. Down here. You approach the building site. The stone foundations are finished, and the timber frame is jointed together with a set of intriguing cuts, like a large toy. One day, the walls will be whitewashed with limestone and turned to a prestigious shelter, unlike the houses made of logs and boards. The other buildings are surrounded by grass, flowers, and herbs. The turmoil of the village life is drowned out by the sound of the creek, but the knocking of the hammer shatters the tranquility. The builders give you curious looks from above the log they're cutting. I walk past them and go to the druids. You're welcomed by 8 elders. We're supposed to be here to talk to them about the plague. You're welcomed by 8 elders gathered in a semicircle, watching your steps closely. They're not as large as the workers, and their clothes are far from humble. Instead of hemp pants or tunics, they wear colorful robes and dresses made of wool. They vary in style, length, and embellishment, separating them from the outfit of monks. You spot belts and cords, sandals, and closed shoes. One person is bald, one other has silver hair long enough to cover her back like a cape. Most of the druids are clean and rested, though one is a bit of a sloven, with uncombed hair, stained clothes, and dusty feet. Unlike the priests of Havlavan, their hands are marked by scars, hard skin, old burns, and missing fingers. Still in silence, a woman with her staff steps forward. I look at her. Her gray robe is decorated by a brown thread that portrays leaves, tree branches, and birds. She's over 50, but the youngest of one of them all. Her back is straight, the gray hair only an inch long. She doesn't need a walking stick. Her weapon is smooth, longer than she is tall. Her blue eyes are vigilant and keenly observing your face, as if it's a sort of venom in your nose and lips. Her lips are thin and small, formed into an austere line that shakes slightly, as if she's on the brink of a burst of anger. She says that, okay, the other lady who we talked to just told us to be polite. You can be playful. You can be distant, intimidating, vulnerable. Bow my head, honored. I guess I can bow my head. After many long breaths, she moves closer, her steps and smile gentle. She smells a fresh thyme, but there's an unfamiliar hint to it. Her free fingers reach for your chest, but don't touch it. Let me see your face, traveler. You straighten up. Her smile is polite and vague, but her eyes, which now seem a bit brighter than they were just a moment ago, are warm. Your arrival is welcome by us, even though the arrival may open the flood of change. Share with us your thoughts, and we'll share ours with you. Her words are slow and soft, as if she's delighted by their taste. First, the plague. Need your help? I know where I can find a Styrian, but my journey will be difficult. Merchant Guild, do you need help? Snakeomancy, Healer, Asterion, Faith, Erastos. The plague. Tides think you should know about the plague that has fallen upon old Pagos. You tell her, new entry, healing the plague. You tell her what you're learning at the village gates, making her lean on her staff, touching it with her cheek. We can need help with this tragedy. The people of old Pagos are now our friends, and we will not risk our lives for theirs. She turns towards the rest of the gathering. After their nods, she takes a deep breath. As she speaks, she looks at the ground. Travel south to the great healer who lives in the cave beyond the beholder, the spirit that guides us through the swamps. Only he may find a way. I try to hide my annoyance. The druids are both selfish and useless. Tursus has a message for you. She listens to your tale without so much as a frown, which is he's the warlock who wanted his stings back. She's into your tab without so much as a frown, and before she utters her first word, the other druids step away. I know where the things you seek are, and not just the wand. I am ever willing to give them back, but you want something in return? You catch a hint of shame in her blink. I ought to ask for something. I'm under no obligation to return the possessions of a runaway, but I'm not too blind to spot the value of a kind gesture. I want you to return it, that's all. Elpis's whisper isn't much different from a regular speech. She nods toward the tall druids with a club, who used to keep watch by the entrance, and he approaches the workers of the building site. He makes up the distraction, but you don't have much time. I'm honored. What is it? Are we conspiring? I too consider the value of a kind gesture. Her eyes grow slightly shinier, and I want you to protect my friend on their walks to the brighter woods. It is not as dangerous as it sounds, but our garden is in good health. But cautiousness will not wound us. You may even learn a bit. When? It's not have to be right away. Once you're ready and strong as shell, head to the guards at the northern gates. Tell them you're looking for work, like a vagabond would do on any day. We'll warn them you're coming, but do so in the early morning. Alright? What threat should I expect? She tilts her staff forward and gives you an encouraging smile. Unlike the dark forest in the west and south, our garden has but a few hideouts for larger beasts. On most days, you'd find only rooting boars or napping deers, or small critters hunting. It is better to keep your distance, but be wary of such beasts. Rarely roam on their own. You are much smarter than most people expect. Okay, then. She tilts her staff forward and gives you an encouraging smile. Whatever. She just repeats herself. Can you tell me about Erastos? She's not willing to speak. Alright. Tides hopes to start negotiating with the city. What do you think? She looks towards your axe and clamps her hands over her staff with new strength. We are not the ones to tell our village how to act, or how to think. If they decide to follow their mayor, we'll follow. She lowers her voice and your gaze is like a storm. When a bear enters your house, you do not scream at it, nor hold the door for it to leave. You wait, or show it a fish. But if it heads to the bed of your child, you jump on its back even if you have all your teeth. Even if all you have are your teeth. For a single heartbeat, you see a red line in her eyes. What did I just update from my quest? Eastern Road, Eudosha, workers. The druids are far from enthusiastic about contacting the guild. Their alienation could introduce difficulties down the road. I need help because I know where to find Asterion. Once you tell her about the island, she puts her left index finger on their lips, thinking, "You're not known for any unusual deed. We do not care for this man, and we see you as a stranger. We will not help you." Alright, cool. Can you tell me about the island? No. Why do you speak with the entire group? She steps away, tilting her staff towards the other druids, who look at you gently. There's no master among us. I have answers for our neighbors, and I know how to guide them, that's all. For now, I'm trusted, but I'm not above anyone, and I take upon myself the burdens of daily life from the shoulders of the elders. One day, my soul will get cloudier, or even lost in madness, like my mother's before me. Then my lips will be sealed, and a better shell will take my place. You can tell if her eyes show sadness or relief. Have you ever met Asterion? Nah. We had no reason to talk to him. About your faith? What do you want to know? How do you feel about the other religions? We do not have to feel about them. If they let us live, we will not strike first. A preacher was here once, when I was but a teen. Her eyes get a bit more cloudy. I see that one could take the tablets and grow upon them, but the right burns the freedom of others, and their followers build their grey dead temples from the skulls of those who did not listen. We request trust, not slavery. Right's followers follow their tablets. What do you do? For a moment she thinks. She's not sure how to answer, but you then realize that she's humming to herself silently. She raises her hand and gestures for you to look around. The world of our ancestors was not the same as the one we see. They had their truth, we have ours. Stories come from humans, the animals that think nothing of them, yet prosper. Alright? What's a druid? To be worthy of trust. Our elders have to trust that we'll master our shells under their guidance, and use them to strengthen all of us. Our neighbors have to trust that we're worthy of their food, even if we do not work with our hands. The creatures need to trust that we deserve to enter the woods. She observes you with for a bit and her finger stabs their staff. This trust that will never be put in an outsider. Cool. Can I hear more? Give away what you can, take only what you need. From your soul, from the soil, from the fellowship of human. You'll leave behind only ashes, accept it and grow in peace. She ends with a kind smile. If you think this is not much, you're right. If you think any soul has enough years to follow this path fully, your soul is already beset by thorns. Uh-huh. And what about the rumors that you guys are evil? No one's out to seek wisdom in every mouth they see. Her thin lips form a smirk, but her voice gets stronger. The butchers of the Unites are driven by fear, afraid to admit the old menace, to give up on their dreams of power, of comfort. They make us the monsters in their of the tales, for they want their people to look away as they hunt us. We're a mirror of their weaknesses, the sun to their shadow, or the proof that they do not have to rule. Okay. What about necromancy? She grabs her staff with both hands. The awoken spit on the order of things, on time and nature. When held by human spells, they only grow, waiting for the pneumat of corruption to cover their bones. Their will is simple, and will never be forgotten. They will hunt for those we care for, and they will drink their blood. Her face hides any emotion, her voice is monotonous, but her fingers are getting pale. The curse of necromancy does not end there in a gathering. Alright, and can you heal me? You will not find them, dear. My soul has its limit. I need to be there when a ladder falls down the stairs, when the child gets a fever, when a lumberjack cuts off their arm. We do not need their dragon bones. Alright. So they told me to go to the south, but let's go for our job. I tell some workers to get at the gate. It's time to get them to the rock slide. You approach a few guards and ask them to help you with the diggers. The mayor's orders are already well known in the village. Your companions-to-be are healthy, well-fed, and in most cases, young. Their chattering is filled with excitement. The younger ones are eager to mention that they've never been so far away from the walls. The older expedition members are going more to lead and advise. They listen to the instructions carefully, and are first to take spears from the guards. It doesn't take long before you're ready to leave. Okay then. The workers carry clubs, spears, and a simple wheelbarrow, filled with food rations, water skins, and tools. While one spade and one pickaxe were made of precautious iron, other ones were made either from wooden planks, in case of the former, or deer antlers. Still being in the forest, your companions share memories about their time spent among the familiar trees. Some were helping the hunters carry a large sword back to the village, others escorted the druids on their search for rare herbs. As you get closer to the hills, your companions lower their voices. One of the guards tells us about the local goblin packs, without hiding any gory details. Her playful tone makes others carefully look around. Yes, keep on your toes. Look out for the harpies. The guard finishes one more of their tales, looking with a smirk at the workers. That's right, you chip in, and that's what we need to keep our eyes open. Threats may hide in our rocks, in clouds, and beneath our feet. I'll ride last, so I've got your backs. Not lower your voices. Let's not cause any more landslides. We travel in silence. The diggers put on their leather gloves and grab their tools. They don't need you to provide further directions. One of the older men, whose arms are covered with healed claw marks, assign tasks and roles. The guards take place on both sides of the rock slides as well as above it. Finally, as the first sound of the pickaxe cuts through the sky, the overseer turns towards you. He stands silent for a moment, looking uncomfortable with the idea of ordering you around. We'll finish faster. I'm gonna join the guards. Lead the rows to the nearest few clumps of grass that begin your patrol. The hours pass with little excitement, so at least you have enough time to brush your palfrey. Try to ignore the sound of the pickaxes as I gather my thoughts. The square is getting cleared. The hours pass, the workers are in decent moods, and as far as we can tell, the work goes well. It's time for a break. Everyone leaves their tools where they stand, then sit on the flat boulders. They take out their food rations and start to talk about their plans for the evening. Sit down with them. You sit among the chatting workers. The four loudest ones are happy to remain the center of attention. Their friendly banter is casual but difficult for you to follow. They keep referencing names and places that mean nothing to you, and many of their jokes are related to more or less casual romances. The mischievous laughter of all the other folk make you think about Hovlevan's arbor workers, who eat similar pies made of dough, poultry, and onions. Once the meal is finished, the conversation turns towards the remaining work, as well as the hopes that they have for the fishing amulet. The overseer clears his throat, stands up and addresses you. So far, no corpse. He rubs his scar with a grunt. But there was a boot, aye. Maybe the leg walked away on its own. Better grab your axe. We'll strike as soon as we see it, awoken or not. You ready? Yep. You look confident, aye. Don't get yourself killed. Witchcraft is witchcraft. His ready voice betrays his word. Right, now, he gestures for everyone to stand up and gather around him. Do not move within 2 rocks at once. Anyone who hears anything or sees a bone, stop whatever you're doing and shout. We don't need an adventurers. We do not need no adventurers. Okay, whatever. The workers move slowly, breaking, pushing, and carrying away other rocks. The tension is palpable, but since all of them work at once, the progress is good enough. I stand nearby, ready to strike. Time passes slowly until one of the workers calls for help, and you hear a couple of huge rocks fall to the ground. The workers run in, and in one case, crawl away from the moving human bones. There's no soul between you and it, though the guards are close and you catch the glimpse of the moving spearhead. You pull out your axe and strike it down. You crack the whitish skull, but the bones don't stay still, fly to catch you. You cut through the neck and the head flies away, hitting the wall. The corpse starts moving and you step back, taking a defensive stance. The crowd observes it all in silence, and after a couple of heartbeats, the overseer points to the corpse. The bloody bonehead has no legs! The shark loses his grasp. People get closer and the first chuckle is followed by the burst of laughter. The loose bones scatter around. An older digger gives you a pat on the back. Scary, eh? I almost ran away. Sure was spooky. The undead didn't even have its hips, and it was lucky to sit in an upward position. Was this wretch buried by the tree, or did it get trapped after it died here? Wonders one of the guards, and the digger responds by spitting on the ground. Let's hope no one was stupid enough to not burn their dead. He said that the workers tried to stay away from the bones, but then the overseer kicks the skull away, sparking another wave of laughter. He cups his head around his mouth. Now, there may be another one here, and its legs may still be kicking. Grab your tools. We do not have more than an hour ahead of us. He turns towards you and nods politely. In order to get rid of our corpse on the road, what do we do? Religion's clear. The dead deserve dignity. We need to burn it. Hard to argue with that. Take 5 souls with you. He rubs his hands together, then raises his voice and starts to assign new tasks. Cutting down branches with simple stone axe takes quite a bit of time. You take your tinderbox and gather an old, dry boughs standing in the middle of the meadow, and cover it with broken twigs and bones. With a moment of silence, you step away from the burning remains. Without a word, your companions observe the unusual pyre for another minute. This is not my religion. Never mind. They don't share my religion, but they also do burn their dead. Must be a universal thing. As the end of the digger's work gets closer, they grow tired and annoyed, which starts a few squabbles. The overseer has none of it, forcing them to focus. It doesn't take long before the pass is cleared. In silence, the workers remove their gloves, clean their chests with water, and gather the tools. Now we have to go back. A group of harpies follows your step, but after half an hour, they give up on you, saying that you remain in large numbers. Your return to the trip is safe, and the workers cheer up quickly. Keep an eye out. Your last expedition gets noticed long before you reach the gates, and the villagers gather by the open gate. The parents welcome their children, the siblings and friends mock the presumed cowardice of their equals, and the kids ask for stories. For many of the members of your group, it was the first time that they truly left their homes. Since no soul approaches me, I ride through the empty village and lead Rose to the stable. As you're crossing the first bridge, a guard meets you with a smile. Our Mary will wait for you in the usual spot. She's got to see that you're safe. Oh, the dog wants out. Go doggy go. Go doggo. Okay, bye. You lead your mount to the haystack, and as you loosen up to the saddle, yet another person shows up with you. This time it's the man with a large club, whom you previously met on your path to the priest. Though this time he's wearing sandals. You're summoned by Elpis, the speaker of the forest. He states solemnly, and you should see her right away. Why is that? It's not me who they call, but it's urgent. Do not make them wait. Okay then. I was asked to speak to you about this. She looks at the nearby workers. Even though they are engaged in their own tasks, she lowers her voice. It's a good thing that you came here first. She spreads you with a polite nod. The hamlet should stay as it is. Hallersdale does not need growth. Her shoulders relax as if there's nothing more to add. If you speak to lie, I need to hear your offer. Her eyes shine bright, lively as lightning. We do not trade, stranger. We do not beg, do not bribe, do not promise. We give what is deserved. We do what needs to be done. If your shell is not empty, you'll do what's right. Whatever. Oh, wait. She trusts me a little bit. About the rest of us. There's been silence. I'm not sure why would you ask about our neighbors. Her voice gets lower with every word. But you showed us kind gestures before. He's young, lost, and sad. To heal, he ought to seek a friendly shoulder among his people, not in the world outside. Okay. Let's go and meet with the mayor. About the fishing hamlet, the road is clear. She leans forward, her voice is close to a whisper and cold like a gust of wind. I wish you'd come to me right away instead of opening your ears to Elpis. Her red lips keep her usual smile, but the green eyes match the feel of her tone. She is getting meddlesome. Watch out before she tries to sell you. Nah, she's not selling me anything. She's not even willing to trade or anything. If you get a chance to answer, she traces up. Don't let me wait any longer. Hit me with the good news, Leto. You mentioned the undead. She stops herself from shedding tears of laughter. A skeleton with no legs. That must be a good one. A good sign. She's chuckling. Her hand reaches for her belt, from which she unpins a leather pouch. You've done well. Our work isn't finished yet, but we're close. So close. She picks 5 dragon bones and then pushes 4 towards you, holding each one with a separate finger. I have to search the hamlet. What's this nightmarish trick? You read my soul, Leto. Pay close attention to what you'll find. She rubs her pale hand and starts to count down her pale fingers. How many cabins are still standing? Are there any layers nearby? Any signs of vagabonds? Soul-eating mold? Broken walls? The more you learn, the better. Alright. Eric shows up with a plate of red radishes, salted, roasted, and cut into slices. He invites you both to help yourself, but before he leaves, Thais grabs his hand and looks into his eyes. They smile at each other without a word. After a few heartbeats, she turns back to you. I don't really know your plans, Leto. Are you planning to stay in the north? Maybe find a family? No, I gotta go back. I'd see. Leaving behind those dear to you would be a cowardice. Okay. Elpis hides something from you. She wants me to go with someone to the forest garden. You mentioned the role of the guards as well, and she reaches for her buckle. Is that right? She gestures for one of the guards to approach her, a man you've noticed around whenever you hold a conversation with the mayor. Her orders are dripping with cruel disappointment. I'm going to speak with the Archdruidess soon, and right after we're going to hold a gathering of all the guards. Tell them to prefer themselves, and... She sends you a delighted smile. Bring 5 dragon bones for a very helpful guardian of the road. Two of the coins tied together with a thread appear in front of you, but even though Thais Sotoros remain bright, you've no doubt that something has just ended. Probably the chance to get Tursus's items back. At least not legally. Here's a silly question, Leto. What future do you see for this peninsula? Imagine being the chieftain of the north. What would be your orders? You guys should trade with each other. You find sadness in her eyes. I had similar hopes, but there's too much bad blood between us. It makes us weak. But it would take a soul of great charisma to bury our discord. I believe that I can find a stadium on the high island, but I need to take a few fighters with me. She's not gonna help. She chuckles and leans forward, then realizes you're not joking. Tell me more. Keep your explanation brief, but no matter the way you cut it, your plan sounds like a ludicrous ask. I can't put the life of my neighbors at such pointless risk. I must refuse. You tell me about the tribe of the Green Mountains? She opens her mouth, but needs a few breaths to respond. I compliment you for finding out about their existence at all. One of her old sailors told me. She rubbed the back of her neck. I can't tell you much about them, to be honest. I wouldn't be allowed to, even if I wanted to. Ma! You call the little girl Thais flinches. It turns out that the child is demanding a change of shirt. She points a large stain on her stomach. What has been here? The mayor asks as she turns away from you to help the girl change, but doesn't wait for a response. I haven't spoken with the tribe in 10 years or so. As a child, I was told that one should never seek their home. She takes one look of her daughter. The new shirt is as worn and dull as the old one. It's an old garment for adults. On her small frame, it looks like a baggy tunic. Very nice, go play, she concludes absently, and looks back at you. My sister used to brag that she saw them once in the woods during their hunts, that they were wearing pheasant animals like at the beast folks. She tried to make a mask of her own, but the druids told her to stop fooling around. Kids are liar, my father said. Can I ask her some questions? Fishes for the forest now. A bolt of lightning hit her right in the head. Ooh. Alright then. What about the trader? Can I sell you anything? The bone ring. 1 dragon. That's a bad deal. The axe head. Oh, he can make it. He can make it into a regular axe. We do not really need more of these. You sure you don't want it? I could give you a handle and a wedge. Do you want something for that? I don't know. Maybe pass me a dry meal? Sure. Here's a food ration. Alright. The rods. 2 rings. It's not enough money. I get paid more by the person. 2 rings. That's not worth much. 15 rings. Nah. Oh, how's your daughter? Did the potion work? She's fine. Brought back her first lizard, and not thanks to me. She did not accept my help. A burnt bridge. But I had the chance to talk with her. At least now I can heal myself when we get swarmed by the undead or brigands or goblins or the unites. Whatever it is that we're afraid of now. So can you sell me that? No. Let's get out of here. Innkeeper... Nope. You know what? I've never taken a bath this entire time. It's been 16 days and we've not washed ourselves for this entire time. We have 5 hours. Pelt is 2 hours away. This element up here, I don't know how long away it is. I wonder I'm smelly. Yeah. Yeah. If I go to this hamlet, I can get paid, but I don't want to pay the money to spend the night at Howler's Dell. The Pelt has a better price. Let's try. The longer you follow the corridor of hills, the more daring the harpies get, observing you as they lower their flight. For now, there's 5 of them. Their fluttering, bat-like wings let them hang in a spot, though loudly. The creatures are smaller than goblins, with ape-like features and talons that make you think of a parrot. Their fur is in shades of browns and grays. You could try to get through them, but you'd have to scare them off for good. Otherwise, you won't be able to ride back east uphill. Yeah, we're ready for a fight. Actually, wait, can I eat? No. Whatever, we're ready. You keep riding forward, and unpack every piece of equipment that could be of use here. Better to weaken the beast before they catch with them. Crossbow. Your quarrel hits a harpy's side, making it screech. It stays in the air, flapping its wings desperately, but gets lower and lower, unaware of the stream of blood leaving its shell. Gotta take a swing with my axe. You find comfort in the rhythm dictated by your palfrey, but you'll struggle to protect both of you, not to mention trying to push away the onslaught. You have to use your axe to scare away anything for reaching Rose's eyes. Use my shield. Ouch. Attack the armor. The beasts are too weak to get through the planks of wood, but there's enough of them to surround you, sinking into your other arm. Once you cut through one of their necks, the others let you be, exchanging sad glances as they land next to their wounded allies. After not even half an hour, you hear the sound of the sea. So we beat them at least. But they did damage my armor. I have to spend the night fixing it. The coast is a mixture of green and grey, with sands already covered by the water. The waves hit the land fiercely, but can't put an end to the screeching of seagulls. Doggy! The signs of human presence are fading away. The grasses overgrown the path. The palisade and building are already collapsing. The lonely tree, still bearing the signs of human pruning, is unkept and wild. You see no smoke or light. Do I have a second axe? An axe head with a handle. Oh, I have to assemble my second axe. So I can start throwing an axe in combat. I keep Rose close. There may be something hidden in the rock. In the north, you find a tall rock sticking out of the land, like fingers of a buried troll. The southern brook hides even more grasses and shrubs, which end with yet another rock face. There are no obvious obstacles that would block you from entering the village, but there's also enough space to look around. Let's prepare my crossbow. You take off the linen sack that protects your weapon and prepare it for a shot. Then raise it to your eye. Get used to aiming. As you lower it, you feel confident. If anything shows up, you'll have the first shot. Okay. Look outside the village first. Cross the river. The area is surrounded by a cliff, like an antechamber in a palace. The meadow here is modest, but still length enough for Rose to enjoy. You count the tree stumps and boughs, and realize that this lee is but the dead shell of a lush copse. A clearing left behind by the settlers. A single shrub is still alive, too weak to withstand the sun and winds all by itself. You think of the roots spreading beneath your boots, now dead and rotting. You can go to the shore. You found an ocean necklace. The cedar strips is covered with mold. The silverfish scales, about an inch long each, used to belong to a huge sea monster. Seeing how hard they are, you wonder if dozens of them can be turned into armor. The stones here are almost as huge as a building, both on land and in the water. You can only guess how much space they occupy beneath the surface. You inspect the dead tree growing by the brook, and find an old necklace among its roots. It's made from a leather strip, not covered in mold, a long, cream-colored shell, and a few thin round flakes, most likely made of a sea monster's tooth. Try to wash it, but to no avail. I pocket it. Let's go north on this side. That's a small village. The farther north you go, the more the grass gets replaced by sand. You walk by dozens of rocks, many of which are larger than you, or even 2 or 3 people standing on top of each other. The land reaching from this point to the distant, steep cliff is desolate. One could bring here a treasure, bury it under any of those silent sentinels, then never find it again. Let me check my quest for the druids. It was... Oh, Thyrsus' wand. Now the betrayed Elpis, Thyrsus won't get any help from here. Well, we can't steal his items back. Whatever. The land reaching this point is blah, 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 blah. Okay, we check that out. Check out the southern building. along this side. You tell Wolves to drink from the brook and enter the narrow path. The building, which has a door leading to the outside of the palisade, is closed, and its roof has collapsed. On the ground, you find a wooden bowl, a mug, a spoon, and a fishing rod. All of them are rotten, broken, or swollen by rains and hoarfrosts. Let's go inside. The errating ocean overwhelms the whimper of the soggy, broken beams. The huts would take a lot of work, but they are not beyond restoration. Especially the one in the center, whose simple roof has managed to protect its walls. By its open entrance, you spot a bucket of water, as well as boot prints. Come out! After a few breaths, the tall, slim woman steps out on the threshold. She's holding a drawn longbow, and you spot a few more arrow quills sticking out of the quivers. She's standing sideways to you, ready to take a shooting stance. This, combined with her gray skin, gives her a proud, confident look. If she's a traveler, it's unusual that she carries no major scars, bruises, or wounds. She's tanned, with flaxen, curly hair that is too short to reach her shoulders. It's disorderly, an uneven length, most likely cut with a dagger. Her upper lip is unusually large. A thief? No. She can shoot a bow. Maybe a huntress? Her worn, baggy tunic has no sleeves, and her legs are uncovered, showing how impeccably clean her skin is. She observes you keenly. Her sparkling, curious hazel eyes carry a hint of a threat. Let's do a threat ourselves. Okay, make a joke. I prefer the joke. Hope you're looking for target practice. She takes a deep breath and bites her lower lips, then looks at Rose. She lowers her weapon, keeping it in front of her. I need not toys to play with. I have hunting to do anyway. Do you know Erastos? Believe me or not, but you'd lose this bet. Her smiling lips softened in her gaze. Erastos did not spend any time with close of us who put their lives at risk in the woods. He was too busy chasing after my sister and building those wooden boxes of his. But he's still young, you know. Give him some time to get smarter. So he was in love with this lady's sister, who is from Howlersdale, because she knows Erastos. I am the Roadwarden. She clicks her tongue and looks away. There's a new one already, but there's not much for you to find here. There's not even ghosts here. I'm trying to find the Styrian, the previous Roadwarden. She huffs loudly and spreads out her arms. I need to speak with him myself. Tell him that if you ever find him. Okay. Who are you? Just a friendly recluse. She draws the bowstring gently. Though not a very patient one. Better tell me what brought you here. Howlersdale. They pay me for the checking on this. Nah. Let's not troll shit another. What does Tice want? Coming from her mouth, the mayor's name is like a toothache. Why do you think it's her? Everyone else has given up on this place, only that she still brings it up. If your horse is here, someone help you with the rocks, and no farmers would come here without an order. She's paying me to look here. Blood on all of it. She looks at the gate, then lets out a huff, then straightens up and meets your eyes. She must not know what you've seen. She points at you with the tip of her bow. Do not tell her I'm here. Better yet, do not tell her this place is still standing. You're her daughter, the one that was killed by goblins with Asterion. Aye, that's my story. I need it to stay that way. Asterion helped me. Ma'am... Tears wells up in her eyes, and brown cheeks flush... Blah. And her brown cheeks blush. Her voice swells up in spite. Tice takes whatever fits in her talons. She was pushing me to marriage out of spite, to punish me. I'll not be chained ni by her, ni by others. I'm a master of the bow, the hunt, and spells of mine. I'll come back as my own soul, as Aegidia, the archeress, not a mayor's daughter. I shall have no power over me. Can you pay me for that? A favor for a favor. Keep my secret and one day I'll help you back, or whatever. I don't really care. Why do you want the vision to stay away? She puts her hand on her hips, on the tip of her bow, and starts to stroke it with her finger. I hope Howlers will prosper, I do, but they already have more than they can eat. I'll meet the 4 speakers after the first star in snow, and show them I can handle this place. I'll be its guardian, live here with my friends, and not the mayor's eyes. She steps closer to you, the corners of her eyes are turning red. I need it, more than they need some fish. Uh-huh. Can you pay me? What do you have against Tice? She pulls the string of her bow. I'm not barred, words escape me, and my pen shall die with me. But Elpis, a 4th speaker, also knows the real mayor. She wants others to see her as strong at all costs. She punishes those who stand against her, and I did the worst crime of them all. I doubted her. Uh-huh. So you're not gonna pay me. And if I rebuke the mayor, she's gonna, like, banish me or something. The Druids don't control the village, Tice does. She controls what my neighbors let her control, and only because she's good at hiding from them what they do not want to see. But let her fail. The others hear that their good old fishing spot has turned to ruins. Once I'm back, this moment of weakness will make just the difference. Whatever. I'm gonna lie to her because I don't want her to shoot me in the face. She closes her eyes, takes a few deep breaths, and then will start to walk around with you with light steps that turn into skipping. There are tears in her eyes. Thank you, thank you. I'd hug you, but oh well. She waves her hand in front of her, drawing your attention to the rags that she's wearing. Agita asks you to forgive her for a few minutes, and you return to Rose. Once she returns, her hair is combed, and she's wearing a brown linen tunic, slightly darker than her skin, with red trim on its neck and sleeves long enough that reach her knees. It's as good as new, a relic of Ty's luxuries. So about Asterion. She touches her lips with the tip of her bow. Well, I do not know where he is. I spent a little time with him, but he's a stranger with a pure heart, like it's made of iron. He does not talk much. Must be a warden thing, Nah, I will not stay around, he said. She tried to awkwardly imitate a male voice. I ride east. Next. East, I ask. To Howlers? Farther, he said. To the Enchantress, maybe? Wait, no, wait. I'm confusing my accents. I'm trying to make her accent doing Asteria's accent. But I confused it. Farther, he said. To the Enchantress, maybe? Even farther than that. His own words. She looks at you triumphantly. Huh? He met the tribe of the Green Mountains, I'm sure. That's where they live. Or if any road. I'm not sure how to find them. Maybe one of the Force Speakers could guide you. Okay, well I know that he sailed to a high island. She opens her mouth but needs a few breaths to speak. He left like that without a word? To that death trap? She raises her bow and points it to the northwest. You can see the island from here. It's not easy to get, even on a boat. You mentioned that you'd appreciate any tip that could help you survive there. She moves her lips left and right, humming to herself. I'm not saying to myself, but I heard that when the winters are the darkest, the water from here to there is all frozen, and even a big beast can get there on its paws. Seeing a puzzled look, she explains. The creatures there are not too different from the ones that we have here. The more you learn about them, the more prepared you'll be. I could use your help on the island. And you think he may still be alive, truly? After your vague knowledge, he straightens up. You helped me already, so it's only fair that it took me to join you. Wait, did me lying to her mean that now I can have I can have the best of both worlds? I can have her trust and the mayor's trust? Damn, I should lie more often. Is this your necklace? She doesn't reach for it. She doesn't reach for it, and instead lowers her head to open the palm. Nah, this is ugly. You found it there? Must be old from before my time. Can I rest here during the night? I did not know. You tell me. I'm not sharing my shelter with you. Your horse would not fit through the door anyway. Okay. How do you survive here? It was not so hard, but it will change now, with the road cleared for larger beasts. She bites her lower lip. I eat birds, some green leaves from the top of the cliffs, to keep my hair strong. She touches it with an open palm. And I learned how to catch the small fish from the streams. The nights are not much better than the woods, I admit. If not for my spells, the monsters would have gotten through many times. Food is not enough. My smell is around, you see. They know that I am but food. You're a spellcaster? You ask, and she playfully touches her canine with the tip of her tongue. I have many talents. Pray to not learn about them all. Have you been to the heart of the woods? Nah, we do not hunt for beasts beyond the nearest hill and ponds. Before to enter the deep roads, I'd have some long preparations to do. Good gambeson, sharp blade, healthy shed, food in my belly, and in a sack. She kisses at Rose and can't stop her chuckle. And I'd take someone with me, or a group of someones. We already have all the help you need, I see. Can you tell me about the steep house? How should I feel? I was still this tall. She raised her open hand, palm down to her chest. I just heard this difficult, and that I should not ask about it. I've not been thinking about it for years, but maybe I should, knowing that it was Thais who told me this. I mean, I know what happened. Do you want me to tell you? Her hand squeezes her bow. Her eyes are keen. After a gentle nod, you tell her what you've learned. Tears well up in her eyes, even before you finish, but she stares at you intensely, trying to catch a hint of a lie, something to grab onto before she puts her trust in your tales. You tell her that Thais destroyed that village. In the end, she scratches the sand on her foot, lowers her head, and she covers her eyes. Shame on them. Shame on my Thais, and on me for asking my questions. Before you respond, she enters the hut for a minute, then returns with a fresh water dripping from her face. While her eyes are red, she holds her bow with determination. It's better to know the truth. Alright, let's get out of here. Check out the harbor. Last thing I have to check out. Oh god, I might not have time to go back. You walk by the small garden that carries a few beans and not many weeds. Leave rows behind and take a walk on the wooden logs on the massive bridge. They're in much better shape than the other structures here, and the boat is almost new, still shining proudly from varnish. You look back at the nearby building. While restoring all of these structures to the former functionality would be rough. There's a lot of work with. Tice would be pleased. How much time can I... Okay, we have the time. I can't go to Pell, but it's fine. I guess we'll have to rest in Howlers. It'd be expensive. But we got like $10 today from working and betraying the druids. It's almost nighttime. It is stable. I'm not paying you money. Screw you. Go to the main square. Speak with the mayor. I have this necklace. Do you see it? She reaches for it but doesn't touch it. In her green eyes you notice disgust. Let me think, she mutters. No, I can't say I have. An ugly little thing, but it tells me nothing. Alright. About the fishing hamlet. I've been there. She puts on a wide, expectant smile. You notice a few more wrinkles around her eyes. According to your tale, I fly. I only mentioned the good condition of the hamlet. The hamlet needs some work, but that won't be a challenge. Jilly is hiding in one of the buildings. Wonder what happens if I betray her. She's promised to give me her help once I go to the island, but I don't think I'm going to. I don't think I'm going to be going to that island. Unless I can go there with like a boat from this hamlet. Because paying for a boat is going to be expensive, and I don't want to spend any money. Let's betray her for more money. You start with a description of the hamlet. Ty's eyes shine, and whenever she interrupts you with a question, her hands enhance every word. At one point, she calls one of her sons and asks him to bring each of you a mug of buttermilk and a bowl of honeyed nuts. After you mention Egidia, the cheerfulness gives way to an empty smile, and questions stop. She stands up, opens a pouch, and scatters the coins on the table. Without a word, she hobbles towards Eric's. A few of her children approach quickly, but she gestures for them to stay away. So she heads upstairs, the innkeep outshouts the entire square. My wife is ill. Whoever wants to speak with her, wait till tomorrow. She then closes the door and moves behind the counter. Here's the dragon bones. There's 8 of them. Money. Before we sleep, let's repair our gambeson. Up. Repair. It only takes 45 minutes now. Less than 2 hours when we were just a beginner. You know what? I can sleep without spending any money. Yeah, we'll be hungry, but we have supplies. Sleep on the move-plant pelt. We didn't have a midnight thingy. Is the mayor here? Ty shows up soon after you sit down on the bench. One of her sons carries a large bag made of leather, and after you peek inside, you find a sheet of parchment rolled into 2 wooden handles. The scroll is new, heavy, tied with a tight linen cord sealed with wax. I'm glad to see you, Leto. The mayor's voice is hoarse but confident. I apologize for yesterday's inexcusable manners. Don't mention it. You want me to do something about it? Egidia, you say? I've never heard of such a soul, and we have more important things to discuss. The tone of her voice could cut a troll in half, but once she meets your eyes, her gaze is as keen as ever. This letter is your reward. Take this letter to the masters of the guild. You've proven yourself trustworthy both to me and to my neighbors, so may negotiations begin. I'll take it, but I can't read. I should read it. This letter was written by Tice. It's sealed. Dang it. This letter was written by Tice, the mayor of Howlersdale. As far as you know, she described her plans to secure a trade route to the military, the merchant guild, rest take it to the superiors. The scroll is tied with a tight linen cord, which together with the parchment is sealed. You don't know a way to slide the cord off without breaking the seal, which is a work of art on its own. It presents a tree that bears no leaves nor fruits, similar to the ones you've seen in the village square. I'd have to find somebody else who can read this for me. I've asked Tice to read some stuff for me, so I don't know who else can do this. Do you need any help? She looks around, then adjusts her capes and lowers her voice. Have you ever spoken with Orentius, the necromancer of White Marshes? I haven't, you respond, and she bursts into laughter, so unprompted and loud, it makes you quake. Have you been to my favorite spot, right behind the corner? Sometimes all I want is to take a nap there, with a cup on my lap and mint tisane in my hand. Come, I'll show you. Once you reach the boar pen, the noise of work and conversation is suppressed by the humming water. The mayor glances at the window above you, then strokes her lips with her thumb. Let's rest here. She leaves you with enough space to sit down. The scent of her rose perfume is strong, but this time her eyes are absolutely aimed at Beyond's home. But I'm going to tell you, it needs to stay between us. She says hesitantly, yeah, sure. She crosses her legs, clasping her pale hand above her knee. We need to get rid of the undead. Of the undead or the necromancer? We both know the former won't get away without the latter. White Marsh is a threat to us all. We ought to burn the wound while it's still fresh. What do you want to do? Start where we're reaching the village. It's not far from here, just right north and blah 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 blah. Take a closer look, see how many shells they've awoken, how dangerous they are. Don't mention me at all. Being a Roadwarden affiliated only with Hovlevan works to your advantage. On the opposite bank of the creek, a seagull is preening his feathers, unaware that a young boy is trying to sneak up on you with comical raised hands. Maybe the locals will allow you to meet with the priest. Ask him what his plans are. Just don't act hastily. Keep me informed. Can you tell me about anything? Shows it off. I didn't pay any attention to him back in the day. His tribe had a regular mayor, whatever her name was. One day he revealed himself to be Wright's prophet, and somehow convinced his tribe to follow him. You're gonna pay me? Don't make me laugh, Leto. I'm not asking you for a favor. I'm offering you my help. You think we're the ones who would suffer from the hands of the undead? It's the smaller settlements, the roads, the inns, the travelers who take the lethal blow. We can handle the direct threats, but I'd rather see our lives go in comfort and not conflict. She observes her fingers, rubbing them together, as if she's getting used to a different skin. If the guild were to see dozens of corpses roaming through the north, they would decide it's not worth their effort. Do I really need to explain why I shouldn't stay idle? If you and I act together, I'll invest coins, times, fighters, and supplies. With every word, the annoyance of it in the verse grows. What else could you want? A blade from cold steel? A riding ibex? A soft shell to warm up your knives? A staff of immortality? Uh-huh. Explain why you want to interfere. She already said so. That told us. If he refuses to release the corpse, we're gonna destroy the village. I'll take the matters into my own hands. I can already tell you this about the village. I've been there before. You waste no time, I see. Titus's voice is warm, but you both look towards the seagull, still unaware of the danger. The boy is just about to jump. Whatever. The kid grasps the creature, makes a triumphant cry, holding the bird as it squawks, in panic, and flaps its wings. In a few heartbeats, the creature's neck is hanging at an unnatural angle. He raises the seagull above his head, waiting for the mayor's approving nod, then takes his prey away. Your companion lets out a chuckle and leans away, resting against the inn's walls with crossed arms. You manage to get in with the priest? Not yet. After you give her the overview of the situation, she asks you for a minute to collect her thoughts. Resting in the cold wind, she keeps staring at the distance. Once she speaks, you catch no hint of the hesitation in her voice. In such a case, avoid meeting with Orentius. It's better for his people to not know how determined you are to stop him. Instead, carry on with your general patrols route, speak with the leaders and other settlements, at least those who are willing to listen. Tell them we need to unite our forces to enter White Marshes and force the necromancer to release the Awoken. I'll handle most of the obstacles, but I need at least one tribe to join me. You're the one who lead the fighters. We'd rather avoid bloodshed anyway. And you know the bogs better than any of our hunters. She adjusts her purple dress as if she just finished a meal. Once you find someone, come here and speak with me, ideally in the morning. We'll begin our preparations. Are you sure you want to do this with violence? If you want to avoid unnecessary violence, find me 2, maybe even 3 groups of fighters. The more of us there are, the dumber it will be for the defenders to oppose us. I'll ask around. Once you have a talk with Akakios, he has something for you. Sure. But he's not here yet. Let's wait. Took him some time. You have something for me? Yep, this right here. He reaches for the tube that's on the edge of the countertop, tapping it with his long finger. It's made of hardened leather and has a long strap to carry it on one shoulder. Our token of gratitude. His words doesn't hold back even a pinch of sarcasm. If Thais asks you about it, tell her I gave you a nice speech. If I very appreciate it. Sure. Open it. There'll be plenty of hours. You set out a single scroll. The outer side is covered with pictures of trees that bears no leaves, no fruits, was painted with a couple of shades of blue and purple. The side is covered with red letters, which you can't read. What does it say? I don't remember, but it lets you stay in Ape Ale for nothing, with victuals. Bion was also honored, at least when it comes to patching up your jacket. Oh, so I get free? Oh, cool! I get free services here. Nice. I have this necklace. He thinks it's trash. Okay. Let's move. I think. Yeah, let's get out of here. I can move north or south. I think we should do like a half lap like this. We visited all these locations, try to find some place for the bronze rods, and give it to the enchantress. Then we can go back to Creeks, and we have another job to cut down this tree down there. Wait, I can leave for High Island anytime I want? Huh. Okay. I can leave without a boat, because I didn't have to commission one from here because there's a boat over there. Okay. That might be worthwhile if I can gather some people. Let's move south to the Elder's Cave. We have a quest for this guy. The family of deer you met some days ago has returned to the barn, this time accompanied by more members of their packs. One buck towers over all the others, with antlers as large as your palfrey. It takes a few steps towards you, shaking its head. You better stay where you are. You observe their curious glazy glances. While the adults quench their thirst, the young ones are playing in the tall grasses or basking in the middle of the road. It takes quite a few minutes before the large beast orders the others to head back to the woods. Its bellow is like a falling boulder. Alright. The blue-tailed monkeys are jumping up the rocky mountainside, chasing each other and screaming cheerfully. The old druid is resting on the bench and welcomes you with new interest in his voice. Words of the help you've shown my neighbors from Howlersdale has reached me, traveler. Good, very good. As one of those critters brought you the news? Moronic. Animals do not speak, not even the larger beasts. Oof, lots of things to talk about. Erastos, can you tell me about him? Are you sure he's a trapper still? I spoke with him in this very place not so long ago. He was convinced he's going to take a light to your craft. Eudosha the Enchantress asked me to place these bronze rods. He takes and observes the rod for a moment, then closes his eyes and bites it gently. When he returns it, he seems unconvinced. I sense a spirit in it, but I'm not one who can tell who's behind it. How can I be sure? You explained what you know about the nature of these rods, but he changed the topic to Eudosha herself. Another minute passes by before he accepts that you did know her. I'll ask for her story next time I see her. Go, but away from the sprig, and don't break your neck. Even a child could see that to get to the higher parts of such a rugged cliff, though you have no reason to expect all those loose rocks to be cleared. Take off my armor and put away my weapons. The bronze rod is attached to your back by a cord. As you place your hands and feet on the rocks, you realize that you have to move slowly, maintaining your balance, pushing away the small and large pebbles, making sure that the wall does not collapse under your feet. The rocks are coarse, supporting your grasp, and you rarely find a sharp spot. The climb resembles a nice summer walk, though your muscles are not prepared for such movement. You find the perfect spot, a small crack between two massive rocks. You use the rod to broaden it a bit, then push it halfway in and fill the gas with a rag. Doing it with one hand makes you dizzy, but not for long. How many rods do I have left? 3? At least we've put down 4 so we can get payment for that. Let me drink a bit. Drink some water. And the dog opened the door. Let me just close that. Do we have any questions to ask this guy? More information is always more potential for monies. Okay. Coming down is easier, though you struggle to recall exactly where you had previously placed your limbs. The warm sun eases your tension. After a few minutes, you land on the soft grass and dust off your hands. Once again, you prepare your equipment. I know how to address you. Druid? You don't understand the sound of the forest. You ask depth of these rocks. You want to build bridges, but for you, they are just structures owned by humans. Prove that you're ready to ignore our customs, and the bridge will grow on its own. Okay. That probably wasn't the right name, I guess. Your Tersus is a teacher, right? Well, outside, he looks away. He's still around. Glad to hear that. His voice carries pain, but as he carries on, you catch a hint of shame. He carries not many good tales of our shared time, I expect. He claims your tribe was forcing him to follow pagan teachings, but at least you were a good teacher. His shoulders drop. I was not there to protect him, and my neighbors treated it poorly. One night, he just left all by himself, yet he carried us home. He reached his home despite the threats of the bogs. His Numa carries great potential, though from what I've heard, his soul is still maturing. His eyes look even brighter than usual, but his voice grows stronger. If you plan to see him again, tell him I'm sorry. Not just for my daughter, or for what that violent day. I'm sorry I failed him. Have you seen any hunters from the creeks? Here in the opposite corner of the peninsula? Most people do not have a beast to carry them for miles, stranger. His playful tone suddenly gets worried. Or did the struggle with meat get so grim that they ever consider such dangerous trips? He takes a deep breath and leans back. I cannot force beasts to jump under one's blade. The forest will not trust me anymore. Why do you not wear the robes of the traditional druids? I wear what I need, and therefore what is needed of me. My ancestors knew such a path led to freedom. Not empty gestures, but honesty, gratitude, and tranquility. Well, blah 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 blah. He's blah-blahing, whatever. Clothes, whatever, I don't care about clothes. Okay, whatever. There's a plague. His eyes widen. When you say a plague, you tell him everything you've learned about the symptoms. He attentively observes your lips, and sometimes asks you to clarify some details, though you usually don't know how to answer him. He finally nods, and turns away and approaches the garden bed, lost in thoughts. You wait for his silence. He speaks after a short break. There's nothing I can do. His words are trembling. Is that it? Are the druids really that useless? He straightens up and furiously walks towards you, wagging his finger. There's no spellmaster could cure every illness under the sun. Not here, not in any land. We did not choose our calling. We did not seek power. He says with spite, then raises his voice. How blind you must be. Do you wish us to drive the seas, to ride dragons, juggle the mountains, awaken the dead? He only realizes now that he has to put the tip of his finger on your chest. He looks at his hand with surprise and steps back. What can I do instead? There may be. You can help me cast a spell of great power, but it will take much. You would not dare, and you have to give up a grand reward. It is a quest for a hero, not a messenger. And there are no heroes. Sure, but I would like this grand reward. If we finish, he turns away from you and look at the falling water. Then listen. Help me awaken Beholder, the good totem from the swamp. You already passed it at the altar in the roads. It needs to be fed, and it only feeds on spirits. The Numa held in human blood, the magic locked in items. Offer them, and it will answer your call. But it's a hungry being, and will not be nurtured by a single gift. Who knows how much it wants? He carries on without pausing, as if he's speaking from memory. But if they grow, it will reward you. Take its holy seed and bring it back to me. Out of the village, and through the totem's power, I'll replenish my strength and keep the Numa before it leaves the lungs of humans. Or I could take this seed and sell it. That could be like the super item I need for my quest. Or, even better, well, curing the plague would be good for trade. So it'd be good news for the city, and I get paid for that. But I could also have the holy seed for myself and sell it back in town. So to offer magic the altar, what do we do next? When you deliver the seed to me, we'll leave. Though we'll need time to get to Old Pagos and back. It's a long road for a shell of my years, but the totem's gift will keep me strong. What about this seed? His voice becomes confident and solemn. Beholder bears but one fruit a year, and only if its hunger is satisfied. The heart of this fruit, its seed, holds a great power for youth, strength, and magic. Therefore, when the winter ends, the people of Howlersdale gather at his feet and give away the Numa de Hell in their blood and possessions. The sacrifice that would kill a single soul, but when shared by many, is but a sign of acceptance, an act of overcoming pain. Can the druids help? He puts his hand on his side and looks at the clouds above him. If they're willing to help you, they would not send you here, at least not all by yourself. They turn to the promise of power and the fears that such promise brings. For them, losing Numa is a risk. They also understand that Old Pagos is not friends of theirs, as it bows to the right, the creature that last will we wither. Many peoples would not spare a tear for this place, and would much prefer it to turn into a house for boars and rooks. Can I get anything back? He looks towards a brown rat that wanders near the rocks, looking for seeds. Who can tell? I hold no treasures to share, and I'll do my part not for reward but for my beliefs that it is the right thing to do. Maybe the monks keep something in the chest in that disgusting temple of theirs? Can you help me? I have no reason to believe your words. If you help these people, I'll admit I was wrong, but I'll not give you anything. Well, cool, man, cool. So you want me to do dark magic? He points at the winged hourglass on your neck, spoken like an inquisitor with paranoia clouding your judgment. None of us would accept a sacrifice of a human life. To go Beholder needs not our souls, but rather any Numa I can find. So I can go there and feed it some of my blood, and eventually I'll get a super seed, and I can decide what to do with it afterwards. Can we talk about Phoebe, Fortos' daughter, the one who pays me to find a soul stone? He's not trying to get a spirit rock. After you nod, he closes his eyes slowly, allowing the gentle breeze to shake his beard. As Tin mentioned, the man's anger and denial. There's pride in his efforts, but also pain, as he can then accept his daughter as the spirits have shaped her. He opens his eyes, leads you to the main path, and looks northwest at the very distant mountains. Beyond Old Pagos, you'll find the monastery.
with respectable monks in their hunting temples. Speak with them with no anger, but also no foolery. Maybe Photios will listen to Rice's followers. Can I be on the top of the Green Mountain? He scowls at you, then looks down the path. There's no reasons for anyone to bother them or to leave the safe path. Can you tell me about High Island? His eyes widens. Come again? You move your lips slowly, as you would repeat your question, and his looks grow suspicious. Why would you head for that forsaken land? You explain briefly that you've learned about Asterion. The elders listen patiently, but then straightens up and raises his voice. Even his accent that gets thicker, as if he's repeating an old sermon. The feet of the living have nothing to find in these ancient woods, and the ruins. It is but a graveyard of the tribe long driven out, and the memories of deserve to be either forgotten or shared by the descendants. He remains in the same position for another few breaths, and lowers his shoulder. These spies ought to forget it ever more than most. Okay, whatever. You haven't really told me anything important apart from the super seed. You have a job for me? I believe your goodwill, and I'm in need of your help. He gestures for you to follow him to the pond. It is not a dangerous task, but one that can not complete from by myself. And my spell's not enough animals to fetch me. He speaks very slowly. You already talked to Photios from Gale Rock. He's in my debt, and I want you to collect what's mine. You want to ask him about his debt, but he doesn't look at you. He points at the shiny large fish with orange and golden scales. This gorgeous creature is the Empress Carp, one of the few animals that thrive both in the seas and the lakes. I don't know where the man found the large worm that he now drops in the water, feeding his pet. Ask for a male Empress Carp, but beware, I need it alive so I can make with the others I have. He stands up and approaches you. I do not sleep on dragon bones, but the pneuma's in my blood. I'll some of it to heal your wounds, though no more than once. So if I can do this job, go to Beholder, feed it my blood, come back, get healed, go back, feed it again. All in one day. I agree. The Empress Carps keeps our water clean of leeches as much as it can. One more would help us greatly. Okay, so that's a job for us. Let's go and feed the tree a little bit. I approach the altar, and I make an offering. Blood. How much? Hurt a little. Your blood spells the altar and sticks into it before it gets to the edge. The tree greets your offering with the sound of moving, stretching branches. Alright. You bandage yourself and move away. Steep house. There's nothing here for me, I think. Let's go to Pelt. I think we have to spend the night here, unless I can make it all the way east. The yard is stained with coughed up blood, the trail leading into the building. The hunters are tense, with weapons in hand, looking at you as if you're bringing them answers. You're approached by Dalit. You heard? The lieutenant from Hag Hills fled from her camp. She would be dead without our potions. Huh? A troll. There's a hint of a shame in her voice. She says he stopped it, but not before it tore the other soldiers to pieces. But you speak with her. The innkeep greets you with a nod, then his eyes lead you to the bench in the corner. Tulia is sitting with her head resting against the wall, breathing heavily, with clean bandages on her neck, arm, and leg. Next to her are 3 small bottles, all of them open, but your nose catches no scent of ale. Her gambeson is on the floor, now more of a rag than an armor. As you sit down next to her on a stool, she opens one eye, then another. Her grunt is hesitant. Need anything else? I know how I look, but my pneuma is already flowing in my blood. I'm good. Want to join my expedition? I mostly forgot about Asterion, and I've had to make sure of beasts already. Adventure. Adventures are overrated, and from my experience they give more scars than meals. I can't do it. Are you really this sick of the roads? I don't plan to give you a pass made of dragon bones, you know. Okay. I gotta earn her trust. What about the troll attack? There isn't much to say. It came in the early hours. We threw and shot anything we could at it. Until it broke through the gates. I had one last arrow left. My subordinate gave me time to aim, and now he's gone. Did you manage to burn them? She shakes her head. I'd have to go and burn it myself then. Is that my reward, or is it back at the camp? With a brief scowl, she looks down and shakes her head. I knew you would ask me that. Yeah, it's all there. I took everything of value with me. Hey, I met with Caius, the soldier. You mentioned the tavern and for a foggy scare. Tulia sighed with relief and rests her hand on her side. Alive. That's good to hear, deserter or not. How is he doing? He's a man of faith now. You vaguely describe what you've heard, making her scratch her shaved head. That's news to me. I used to know him before he joined the army. Never saw him especially bothered with Wright's teachings. One time I saw him with that... She freezes and lets out a chuckle. Forget it. A place is alright. You recognize this wax tablet? He opens it and takes a quick glance. Well, it's from Havlavan. I've seen and my lieutenant were the only people I've seen with green tablets like this one, and the locals don't write chronicles. I can't read. Better for the priests. Ah. I can go to the monastery. Maybe they can read stuff for me. Have you ever encountered the bandits north? She has a side sigh. So there are other bandits in the woods. If I survive long enough to report to someone, I'll be sure to mention it. Yeah, I know, but she has a message for you, you know. Turn against an innkeep and gestures for you to lower your voice. Come on now, this is the only pass through Hag Hills. Recently, there was a caravan with tools and spices that was taken by force to be sold for ransom. Someone told them to turn east, right into the bandits trapped. Would you believe you bear no responsibility and saw nothing? It's not so simple. She draws out her words. I wasn't looking for dragon bones or mead. Without Galicia, my squad... She looks around as if to find her subordinates. Wouldn't have been able to keep the valley passable. On the day of their arrival, she helped us get rid of a griffin that murdered 2 people this summer alone. Was I afraid of her threats? Sure, but she helped me save lives too. Uh-huh. I meet her eyes. You're not some coarse civilian who just happened to help a group of outlaws. People trusted you with their lives and you betrayed them. Why are you telling me this? Do me a favor. She straightens up and giving you an angry look, and nods briefly. So this is how it's going to be. So be it. I'm in your debt. Alright. Then join me. But I hope you know better than to hunt the beast there. Whatever. Okay, so we've now blackmailed somebody to be on our crew for the big adventure on the island. Nice. Did you ever enter the road leading to the heart of the woods? I was advised not to. Have you seen the huge gate in the west, made of rocks, very tall? Read a guard there named Quinton, maybe. A kind soul, but a bit slow. I think it was Quintus. What about Pyros? Nothing. Innkeep? We cannot trade for a new item. A shield. Oh, I already have a shield. Whatever. Any leftovers? Yay, food. I have a message from Thais. It's about Orentius. You explain the matter. When you mention necromancy, the innkeep gestures for you to sit at the table. He walks behind the counter, fills up 2 mugs, and sits down with you. The beer he offers you is full of hopes. Of hops, yellow, thick, and cloudy. The smell alone makes you think of sweet and sour fruits from the distant south. The man has plenty of questions and doubts. You describe White Marshes and his deeds, the undead, Orentius' leadership, Thais' plans. It goes on for quite a while, but but with you doing most of the talking. In the meantime, a couple of hunters gather in the rooms. Listen to your conversation, in silence, keenly observing you. Your thoughts run towards your axe. Once Jason is done with your questions, he spends a good minute observing the contents of his mugs. Fine. His eyes steadily observe the mug. A couple of us will arrive at Howler soon. They'll join you when you move on Marshes. Okay, so I guess we're doing this. What can I buy from here again? The shield. Can I sell anything? Ooh, the axe. 4 coins. And I can sell my own pendant for 2 coins. Not much. Have you heard about the High Island? Huh? I've heard this name somewhere, let me think. Oh, right. Is the savage wilds around the volcano? As the locals what's with the smoke that can be seen from time to time, but they don't know much about the place either. That's some sailors if I were you. Okay, about Glacia's band, I got the response from Thais. Thais sent me to the other villages. The bandits are focused on the White Marshes, so she's not interested in your deal. Without a word, he puts your payment on the counter, then glances at your nose. I appreciate that you've been so thorough. You're already more than I've asked for. I still have the crossbow to sell, so let's say I lower the price. I already have a crossbow. Keep up the good work. He walks towards the window, opens it, and looks outside. I was afraid it might be like that. Times will get rough. It'll never be a threat large enough to unite this bunch of anarchists. He rests his hand on the windowsill. I have another job if you're interested. I'll pay you 10 coins for finding out what Glacia really wants. Ideally not by direct question, but if there's no other way. He turns back to you, and for a few words he looks into your eyes. I better act before she marks you as an ex-prey, being an lonely traveler and all. Work with me, and I'll do my best to keep you safe. Well, actually, I already met with her. Glacia only has one target. It's White Marshes and the Necromancers. You have nothing to worry about. Oh, I should visit her. Ask her to join on our raid. He frowns in disbelief, asking you for a few questions about what you've seen in their hideout. Before you finish with your last answer, he empties an already prepared pouch. His gesture are impatient, but the amount of dragon bones matches his promise. You did what I asked for, so these are yours. We'll try to hunt in the north before fall, see if you were correct. Are you worried? He goes to the floor. Their camp sounds like a well-protected place and hidden in a dangerous spot. If you're wrong, we won't get them easy. It's just a thought of mine. Let's go to the guards and do some extraing. Boop. Ah, we lost. Whatever. We have a bunch of questions. Oh, I want to put this rod on your watchtower for you, the Enchantress. She moves it closer to her face, observing with widened eyes. Some sort of magic thing? After reassuring words, she pauses. I mean, if it's nothing dangerous, fine. I'll tie it somewhere during my watch, don't you worry. Do you know there are undead... Did you know there are undead that use light? Kind of? She gives you an unconvinced smile. I know they grow more human-like the older they get. I think they don't need light, they just want it. Like when they put on clothes or take trinkets from those they kill. About the hunters you want me to recruit. I'll hire Quintus. Your question sparks playful comments from companions. He's a great friend, but he can't be trusted with more delicate tasks. When possible, we try to avoid using muscles alone. What matters the most is getting out of trouble with as few scratches as possible. Well, they both kind of suck. I'll tell you what I've learned. She hums a brief melody. What you're saying is true. I say we're better without it. Here, we ain't going to look for broken hearts. We need someone who can figure out their own shit. And Cassia's kind of bad. It sounds like no matter her talents or the lack thereof, she's got a harpy of an attitude. Summarizes your tale and tries to push aside the hair on her forehead. Maybe better to spare ourselves the trouble after all. So you're not gonna hire anybody? With two terrible choices, I'd rather wait another year. She scoffs and prepares her pouch. Thanks, Leto. You saved us quite a journey. But let me know if you happen to be someone who could use a risky, good-paying job. She counts down 5 rings, then sizes you up and pulls out a few more. Okay, I can keep an eye out. Do you want me to join my journey onto High Island? What? She chuckles, but then matches your serious look. Tell me more. You share the gist of what your plans as she's spreading the old stew on the ground, to her boar's great joy. I put safety above adventure, but there is a way you can convince me. Money, 12 dragons. Meh. Much for wild creatures, 5 dragons. I won't go any lower, the others will give me looks. 5 dragons to know all about the creatures of the place. I have 76. I have enough. If I sell my pelt at Foggy's, we have the 100 coins. Sure, I'll give her 5 dragons. You can sell whenever you want. Oh my god, that's a lot of people. But when I ask her these questions about these animals, I expand my knowledge of all these animals, know their weaknesses, and expand my glossary. I guess that's the lesson we're going to be doing today. We'll ask all these questions and we'll stop there for today. We've doubled our monies. All from working for Howlersdale. They pay well. I've been to the watchtower northeast of her and it's crawling with bugs. Sure thing. They don't follow abandoned food. I hate their fat roaches. They give me creeps. They don't like smoke, so they stay away from people who live. They stay away from people who live in places during spring and autumn. I'm also scared of some herbs. Maybe asking White Marsh for a bomb. Yeah, okay. So Tursus has a bomb for that. Should be afraid of the local apes. She takes a deep breath, shifts her weight to her left leg, and puts her right hand on her waist. Oh, I could tell you stories. A short chuckle. I ain't so bad now as it used to be. What's left are mostly the monkeys. Not much of a threat if you stay away from their land, but they throw things at whatever they're afraid of. Once they get used to you, they'll leave you alone, at least one of the many families that live in these forests. She twirls her hair, thinking. There's a couple of dangerous apes, though. They need to be ignored. We've seen at least one fright ape. You know what it is? The grey one with muscles this big? She makes a vague gesture around her arms covered by her gambeson. If it attacks you, it knows it can easily squeeze you to death. You can't fight it, Leto. All you can do is run away. Alright. Apes and monkeys. Oh, we already asked about that. Are there many beast folks around? Ah! She lets out a hiss. Ain't gonna lie, they're too weird. Each one is different. 2 of them, one deer-headed, another bear folk, tried to steal a rabbit from our traps. We outnumbered them, so they just grunted for a bit and withdrew. But you know the old tale. Bring the offerings, meat and whatnot, and maybe they'll be kind to you. Something they won't find in the woods, or food to touch with Numa. And if you were asking just about the gnolls, who cares about them? They could barely bite your head. You see a dozen of them, run before they knock you down. You see 2, just chop their heads off. They ain't magical, that I can tell you for sure, and they're dumber than wolves. Good to know. I can't always run away from dragonlings. How do you deal with them? She chuckles. Put your horse to use and flee. Most of them are west of here. They stay away when we move in large groups. But Or do they lurk around? If you really have to fight them, they attack all at once, so you won't make it if they went outnumbered, and you won't outrun them on foot. Hide up in a tree if you're alone, and if not, be sure that everyone in your group has a decent weapon. Getting through their skin is tough. Unless you find kobolds, you know. Those that are knee-high, not too dangerous. They don't try to hunt down a human. Maybe they're starving. Have you ever hunted down the dragon? We ain't tried to get close enough to get many of them, not once. Bows are fine and all, but who knows what's better? Staying in one piece? As long as they don't storm our inn, well, I'm just fine watching them cross the sky, listening to their roars. They don't care about humans at all much. We're too small for their jaws, and it's not easy for them to get to our clothes and equipment. But they do destroy villages when they feel like it. I wish I could... Should get something to cough. Oh well. I wish I could have a voice like they do. Whenever they roar, birds take off. And the wild game either flees or plays dead. Could be a handy little trick, you know, like this. She looks around and opens and closes her mouth a couple times, as if she's considering making a roar of her own. Finally, she glances at her companions, and gestures for you to go on. Next. Corpse eaters? I expect to find other people who lives in caves here. Should I expect any corpse eaters? They're not around. There aren't many travelers and settlements here, so they can't feast on humans alone. Last time I saw their claw marks, when was it? A year ago or so, when we placed traps in the northeast, near the old watchtower. They stay away from the heart of the forest, so all that remains in the far east. At least they don't move in large packs. At least it seems to be lost in her thoughts, when suddenly she points at your blade. You can handle at least one of them with that axe of yours. Just give it all right away. Hurt the beast even slightly, cut its arm or something, and it's going to run in panic. They're deadly cowards. Alright, that's good to know. That's usually one of the options we have is to, when we encounter a beast, is to try and cut one right away. That comes up often. Any weird critters? I can't say for the villages, but one of them comes to our walls. They're badgers, foxes, wolverines, and other like that stay in their burrows or in the ruins. There are no goblins around. You don't hunt for furs, I expect. Seeing you shrug, she goes on. If they bother you, you can bother them back from time to time. Scare them off, you see. Show them their home ain't safe anymore, and they'll look for another one. Much less better than a fight with a whole pack at once. Huh. The dusk foxes from the northern ruin. I guess I was doing that often. I was passing by, yelling at them and leaving. But in the end we just took the fight, and they didn't really hurt that much. How's my character doing in fights? I have a high combat experience. I wonder if it can get any higher. I have a good faith. I have a high experience of sewing. I've said some lies. Okay. Next. Are there any gargoyles lurking around? They stay where there's trees and shrubs are the thickest, in the heart of the forest most likely. Waiting for something to get close, then they jump, ready to bite off their prey's head. Though this one I've seen looked like a small dragon. It will swallow you whole. What you need to do is keep an eye on the tree crowns, or maybe the thicket next to the road. When a gargoyle prepares to strike, their eyes get red, almost shiny. That's when you need to take a dame crossbow and shoot it right into it. Don't use spell though, they won't do any good. Well, I don't have any spells, so whatever. Any goblin packs? We finished off some of the packs, but they travel all around and move their camps every now and then. Expect them anywhere. If you see a single creature, turn back, its family is just nearby. If you really want to hurt them, take care of this home. Sink it, ruin it, burn it. Whatever you do with it, they'll move away. They need to hide from monsters just like we do, so they won't stay around. Golems? Well, they protect their owners, so it ain't really something that hunt down, you know? She brushes away their hair from her forehead. Oh, you ain't playing around. Well, let me think. They ain't a single hole. She puts her left arm on the right shoulder and pulls it. I understand it fully, but I think it's a little bit like the undead. The more parts of the shell you remove, even for a time, the more magic gets to waste, as if it returns to the air? She shrugs and returns to her previous stance. Make a trap. Try to hold it. Then pull. A rope may work. Don't try to stab it or smash it with a hammer. You can't harm them. She looks at the boar. Or maybe you could just kill their owner, or move them far away. It's impossible to order golems around from a great distance. It confuses them. Well, with all these rods I'm putting down, it's not gonna work. Having a bunch of annoying griffins. The noble griffins? But they don't live here, so it's too close to the ocean. They can't compete with the flying beasts, so they only hunt at dawn. Oh, you mean the scrubs? Those are everywhere. Try to scare them off, like from a large distance, or by wounding them before they get into position. In a place like this one, they won't starve. There's not a game around. I wouldn't expect them to hunt for human flesh. Harpies? Are you even going to find them? I mean, I just did. There should be none in these woods. They think it's too much too dense, and you know, they're cowards. She simultaneously smiles and shrugs. How much of a threat can they be? If you travel where they live, just be sure to have a few guards with you. They want to take a group of humans, or take a crossbow, or spells. The Howlers, which we already fought. I ain't heard about someone studying them, you know. Those shouts. She scuffs her hands around her mouth, are like spells that will make you sick. All it takes is what, a few minutes or so? Maybe a single one won't be a threat, but they're never alone. You'll see them, packs of them in the north, and you better stay away from them, or be sure you have as many ways to keep them scared as you can. If they ain't afraid, they ain't going to let you live, and will devour you right after they've deafened you. Well, we already managed that. The Hunt Lords and Hunt Queens? Yeah, they don't fight anymore. The latest queen has ruled for maybe 5 years now. Our watchmen saw it a couple times. It's tall and has red and silver fur. I recognize this howling anywhere, but please don't tell me you plan to look for it. She looks at you with worry. No human can harm such a being. If it decides it wants you, the best you can do is abandon your palfrey and hopes it looks tasty. But Hunt Lords rarely strike before dusk, so who cares? Stay in the sunlight like the rest of us. Runners. How should I handle the runners? They keep sneaking around the trees waiting for me to get off of Rose. Well, they ain't as bad as Dragon is, you know. At least you can make a roast of them. You'll outrun them on your palfrey, but if you're on foot, don't even try. Don't hide up a tree, they jump way too high. Wings, you know. She waves her arms, imitating a flying bird. And remember, they strike with their beaks. If they miss, it takes time for them to try again. Be fast, decisive, or you can have to buy time by throwing some meat at it. But only if there's one of them, no more. The large cats? You ain't going to do much about them. The cats don't let you see them. They stalk their prey and jump when you least expect it, like slashing its claws or in your neck. Have you seen how big they get? If venomous, it gets twice as long as your horse. So you ask her if she's sure there's nothing you can do. You could do something that fits right in front of you, like if it ain't hunting. If you were smart, you'd stay away, but wait for the cat to move. But you have to, I don't know, be calm, stare it away, pretend to be large. What are the chances that you'll ever be in such a situation? Well, we already fought a cat by the swamp. Pebblers? There aren't that many forest gardens in the north, so they sometimes show up out west. The druids get rid of them, and the people of Old Pagos have a pile of nails and iron spearheads. They know how to fight them off. I'd say there ain't much point in hunting them. You can't eat them or get a good pelt. And their bones are so hard that they ain't going to sharpen one after even their days of work. Dragging their corpse away will take you hours and dozens of hands, so it's all a big waste of time. Better to just discourage them or scare them away. Alright. Saurians. At least not all of them eat meat. She spreads her arms. Those longer than this are the worst, but that's why you keep away from the ponds and lakes. They stay just at the bank, jump at whatever they get close. You do wash your heads. Whoosh! She casts her head loudly. Snapped. Even worse with a horse. It'll grab it by the leg. And you know how fragile they are, as good as gone. Those all grey are the big problem. All of them eat human. And then look at their tails. If they're thin and swing left to right, they can break your ribs. Next, beasts. Spiders? We've already fought one, but whatever. Most of them are in the ruins and are in a very lush forest. They sit still all by themselves in their webs, waiting for critters that have lost their way. If you face them, watch out. Their bites are, well, maybe not venomous, but they do something weird. I can't describe it. It melts your skin. And their legs are pointy, like tiny spears. There's no point in fighting them unless you're looking for spider silk. After you ask her how to get rid of such a creature, she struggles to find an answer. A really large one? Without a crossbow? A bow would should do fine as well, but aim at the abdomen. A spear would be a good choice when they take us too close, switch with an axe or a mace. What do you mean the smaller ones, like a head size big? She measures an invisible spider with her hands. They often, I don't know, spit at the targets or something. You do not want to get hit with it, this web. Dodge it or get blinded. Maybe jump away. Then you can smash it with whatever you have in hand. A bit late for that. Tree ants. Just like you said, mostly in swamps. Do you know how to spot them? They have no leaves, and their branches are wide and long. They catch birds and animals that get close to them. They use their food to bait out the creatures. There may be some in the deep woods, but don't think Rose is going to take you there anyway. If one of them catches you after all, play dead. Don't try to free yourself, just wait. Or it's going to choke you or tear off your limbs. I know it sounds bad. Her voice stays serious, despite her smile. Stay calm. They'll put you into its mouth, only then you should strike. It's inside this move, hit it with a blade, it may panic, then drop you. May. That's your moment to run. It happened to me once, you see. She puts her hand on her chest and another one on her side, as if posing for a sculptor. And I'm still here. But you know, it's better to stay as far away as you can. Trolls? There should be one south near the camp of the soldier. She looks down. Those fatheads were causing utter chaos across the entire peninsula, especially near the coast. Once they ate a forager from the tavern, we were hired to get rid of them. I thought they were gone for good. Whatever. The undead? I don't have any tricks for you. Chop them as many times as you can, like the priests and soldiers say. Crush their bones, cut off their limbs, surround them, outnumber them. Only the dumbest ones, like those barely taught by the fogs, can fall into simple traps. But if you hurt them enough, the Numa leaves them. Ask me how that works. I don't drink with necromancers. When you ask where you can find them, hit the white marshes. Unicorns? I doubt you'll face one anytime soon. There's a weirder voice as she glances at the wall. I only saw them a few times, from very far away. We don't hunt such large beasts, you know. You ask her to think if there's anything interesting she noticed, and she takes a few breaths before she comes up with something. I hadn't seen more than one of them at once, I think. She asked a few other hunters, and while most of them agree, 2 people mentioned that the unicorns mate in early spring. But even then, they don't hang around much. You know what people say, the unicorn craves flesh filled with Numa. Already hunts humans, are only afraid of the largest beasts. Just the usual tales. And finally, wolves. There's a pack of red ones, those that jump really far, and once they bite you, they never let go. Also some blue wolves, they spend their time spread around, but howl to one another when they find good prey. Trust me, don't ever try to fight a pack. Their furs are valuable, even the grey ones, but only the way to hurt them is setting a trap. They abandon those that can be helped, but not the spotted wolves, they always try to help their wounded. For a brief moment she carries on, but the furless wolves, those are the worst. They live alone, but are as dangerous as entire groups. We've seen one in the forest, we haven't fought it yet. Once you find one, you can't run away from it. You can't scare it off if it's not bleeding. You must stay brave, especially when it charges at you. It's going to jump, oh, it's this high. Duck beneath it as quickly as you can. Maybe we'll see it again back in the woods if I go there. That's all I think. Right? All of them? All of them. How much for you guys to clear the goblins? 10 bucks? Eh. Island? 12 bucks. Meh. So we have 6 hours. I'm going to go to the Enchantress's place. Check out the soldiers' camp. But not right now. Tomorrow. Anyhow. See you guys later. Oh, so we're getting some good money. We're almost there. We're almost to our 100 needed for our personal quest. Anyway. Bye.